Hi, my name is Bethany Struble. I'm an interior designer, and I'm here to give you some tips on where to spend and where to save in your space. In the living room, I like to change out the rug. And I think that if you have a really tired old rug, getting a new one, a fresh one, can really give your space a facelift and make it seem a lot more fresh. You can change the color and the entire feel of the space with just a rug. One thing that I love doing in a space is taking an old headboard and reupholstering it or restaining it. But reupholstering can really make you go out of your comfort zone with color, and I think the headboard is a really good place to play with color and have a more neutral bedding set to go along with it. I'm a big thrift shopper and flea market goer. I love finding unique pieces at a thrift store or the flea market, something that nobody else has and that you can really make your own. Also, the IKEA as-is section, sort of a hidden gem where you can find all sorts of things that might be a little broken, but you can use your imagination and figure out a way to make it into something completely new or just fix it yourself, and it can be less than half the price. I've had the best luck at the Goodwills and thrift stores down in the suburbs. Anywhere around there, you can find some really amazing deals. There's a lot of people who move in and out of that area, so there's a lot of good furniture. I don't normally buy blankets or pillows secondhand because those can carry a lot of gross stuff in them, but I have bought a few rugs secondhand. Vintage rugs are amazing, and there's a lot of places where you can get them professionally cleaned. And if you find a rug for a good enough price, getting it cleaned for 50 bucks or 100, depending on where you go, can sometimes save you a lot of money. Where I would say to spend is possibly on a couch, something that you are going to sit on for a long time and that is going to see a lot of wear. You can find vintage couches that have held their own for years and years, and that is a good option. If you are looking to splurge on something, I would say splurge on a couch, something that you're going to use a lot, and possibly a dining table as well, because those get the most wear and those will last you the longest. One thing that a lot of people don't know is that you can actually buy furniture from warehouses. This is where overstock goes, or can be somebody's collection of things that they're trying to get rid of and they put it in this warehouse. Just search up in your area warehouse sales for furniture and you will be surprised at what you find. Little accent pieces are things that you can buy for fairly cheap, and knickknacks and stuff, you can find really interesting things at thrift stores that make your space feel a bit more quirky and more lived in. I usually like to thrift vases and plant pots, and if you can find a bunch of plant pots and paint them all the same color, that can also make everything sort of go in your space. Plants are a really good way to make everything look a bit more cohesive and inviting in a space. Having plants throughout, and if you're not good at keeping things alive, there are a lot of really good fake plants. They look a lot more real than they used to. So another thing that I like to thrift is wood pieces. A lot of the wooden furniture that is built now is not built as well as it was back in the day. So if you see a solid wood piece, it's usually a much higher quality than something that you can get at the store. I tend to try and find vintage wood pieces rather than splurging on something that might not even be as good quality. I tend to think that having all the same kind of furniture pieces. You know, if you go into a store and buy the set, like the living room set, that can actually make your space look a lot cheaper. Mixing and matching can make your space look a lot more unique. Playing with textures as well, having really good materials, finding those vintage pieces that really bring life to the space. So something that is a really good natural wood, or if you do like cowhide rugs, you can buy them vintage, which I definitely recommend if you are into that look. You can find those, and that makes those space look a lot more expensive. A $10 item that I would say would elevate your space is some pillows. I know that you can find a lot of pillow covers for fairly cheap, and you just need one pillow insert, and you can switch out the pillow covers, and that can be your different seasonal decor and everything, and switch that out with pillows. One $50 item I think that can really make a difference in a space is lighting. You can find some really great ones and really cool vintage ones on Etsy, or you can just get something that caught your eye at IKEA or at World Market, something like that. They always have really cool lighting fixtures to liven up your space. If I had $200 to renovate a living room, I would probably start with wall color. If it was not working, if it was in the beige kind of boring zone, I would just brighten it up, and that creates a really nice canvas for everything. Then I would focus on keeping the furniture items that they already have, but changing it up with the accents and adding in plants and pillows, and maybe finding a rug in that. Who knows? You know, you just have to search. But I think playing it up with the accents and the wall color, and possibly even doing an accent wall with either a peel and stick wallpaper or just a fun pop of color, I think can be a way to just really refresh a space. Using what you have and building off of that, collecting pieces over time is a really good way to make sure that you're buying consciously and not overbuying for your space. I tend to slow down the process and collect things as I go that I really love and that I'm going to keep for a long time. There are a few pieces in my house that are placeholders that I'll probably sell when I find the piece that I've been dreaming of to replace my old coffee table. So you can find cheaper alternatives and wait it out until you find a really good piece that you want and just replace it. My space is constantly changing, and I get bored of things all the time, so just ever evolving. I hope that you found these tips to design on a budget helpful, and thanks for watching.